Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this masterclass with the developers of MadMapper. So, over here we have, please introduce yourself, sir. What is your name?
Moris.
This is Boris. And over here we have?
Mathieu.
Hello, Mathieu. And here, who do we have here who's hiding himself with his glasses?
Hello, darling. I'm Franz from 1024 Architecture.
Okay. And you are?
I'm Pierre.
And I'm loving these t-shirts here. What is the idea behind? We have bad and we have dad.
Bad dad, no?
Bad dad. Okay, and I can see that it's from the official logo of the MadMapper software. So this workshop is going to be in two parts. Sorry, this masterclass will be in two parts. Four parts.
Four parts.
So we're going to start with material hacking.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you. And then next of all, we have Arduino tinkering. That's over here. And then followed by programming with cues. And then lastly, mini-mad mastering. And I have no idea what the hell this is all about, so I'm going to leave you experts to enjoy the ride.
Applause.
Okay, thanks everybody. Thanks guys for joining the stream. Today I will talk about material hacking, and I will try to provide you with a simple method to tinker and fiddle all those wonderful materials into MadMapper. So materials are over there, and first I will start by explaining to you what is a material. And within the context of MadMapper, a material is a pixel shader. Yeah. But what is a pixel shader anyway? So still within the context of MadMapper, a shader is a micro GPU program that runs in parallel on every and each pixels of your surface. Well, sounds complicated, but fact number one, shaders are easy. Okay, and I will try to prove you that. So to put it in some other words, a shader is a program that, given a pixel's coordinate in 2 dimensions, pixel coordinate X and Y, we call it U and V, don't ask me why, but it's like that. Given a pixel's coordinate, it will return a pixel color in 4 dimensions. 4 dimensions, think, oh, complicated, but no, you know, everybody knows 4-dimension pixels, it's R, G, B, and alpha. So given a 2D coordinate, X and Y, it will return a 4D value of R, G, B, and alpha. So let me dive in, and you will see that it's super easy. First, I will open up the code editor over there, and I will click that plus button, and I will try to create a new material for you guys. So let me click it. So now it's asking me for a name. It will be Mad Workshop. And here I can choose a template that gives me a few information and a few needed functions. I will start with the empty template, so it's easy for you to understand. And then we will continue into hacking actual materials given into the library. Okay, so empty template. I open it up, okay, and you see there it's called fragment shader. Fragment is a synonym for pixels. It's the same, fragment, a pixel, same shit. And here I will try to analyze with you the anatomy of a shader. And you can see it's divided, it's very easy to see, divided in 2 parts. This first part and this second part. Actually, the first part is grayed out. Grayed out means comment. And a comment is not active code. A comment is a special part of this shader that will talk directly to MadMapper. And if I look at that here, over there, there's something called speed and mad speed. And if I look there, the parameters of the shader are just created. There's also some speed. So what I can deduce from that is that here in this comment section of my shader, I can define inputs that I can use to generate values into my shader. Super easy. First part is a comment there where I define inputs, and the second part is actually a function that is the actual shader code. Super easy to understand. Remember that given a pixel's coordinate in 2D, it will return a pixel color in 4D. If I look at there, return, okay, so it returns something. It says vec4, so 4, maybe 4 dimension. And over there, the name of the function, some name, I don't give a shit, but it takes as an input a vec2, 2D, called textcord. Textcord what? What about textcord? Textcord stands for texture coordinate. So that's the pixel coordinate in your surface as an input. Okay, it's a bit strange because it's written vec2, and there it returns vec4, but basically that's my function that takes a pixel coordinate, returns a color. Okay, now I have to explain a little bit about this vec and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I really have to explain and take a little bit of time, and after that it will be very fast and we'll go into hacking directly. So a number in this shader is called a float. A float stands for floating point number. It's just a number. And then a 2D coordinate means two numbers. And in my program, a two numbers is a vec2, is a vector of two floats. It's over there. Vec2 means one float and one float packed together and usable as a coordinate. But we can also make vec3, means one float, one float, one float, three float, and a vec4. Hey, vec4, that's a 4D number, 4D number. That's a color, RGB and alpha. Okay, you get that? Super easy. And there's a little specific thing is that you can compose these vectors one with another one. So if I want to make a vec4, I can create it using a vec3 and a float, or a vec2 and a vec2, because 2 plus 2 equals 4, 3 plus 1 equals 4, it's the same, okay? So if I look at that, now, I return a value, so a vec4, so it's a packet of 4 floats, okay? There's a 0 here, there's this textcord, but textcord seems to be a vec2, so there's one coordinate, the 0, then 2 more coordinates, the textcord, and there's this little one at the end, so that's the 4th coordinate. So I presume this one is alpha, and this one is a float set to 0, and here I'm visualizing the texture coordinate of my pixel. So if I take this material over there that I just created, I zoom out and I see a nice gradient of color. That's the only thing to get, is that actually I'm visualizing the pixel coordinate as a color. So I'm converting a coordinate into a color. It's super easy, and basically that's the essence of a shader. It's super easy to understand. Do we have any questions on the chat over the internet? Not yet, so I guess everybody's understanding. I'm super happy. Okay, so now let's try to actually do something. Okay, so I have this text code, look at that. I have 0, text code, and 1. Let's try to shuffle up things and to see what we have. So I will remove the 0 there, boom. I remove it, and then boom, there is an error over there. It appears. Error means something is not good. But yeah, hey guys, I'm trying to make a 4D number, but here I have a 2D number and one number, so I'm making a 3D number instead of a 4D number. So there is an error. That's not good. And you know what? The error just bang like that on the screen because shader programming into MadMapper is live, okay? And you see this auto build icon over there, which means that every time I type something, the program will compile everything that I type, and it will be real time. It's called live coding. I can activate or deactivate, but for this demonstration, I will leave it activated. Okay, so now it's wrong. And what does it say? Too few arguments to constructor vec4. Yeah, I'm trying to make a 4D number, and I just have 3 numbers. So I will add the 0 that was before, 0, but on some other position, and look at that, error disappears. That's kind of magic, and now I have another kind of gradient. I think that's super cool. Yeah. So now, given that knowledge, that's the only thing really that you have to know to be able to hack into materials. Given that knowledge, I will go to the library over there. I will pick a shader that's available for everybody in the library. I will add it into my project, okay, and I will assign it to the surface. Okay, that's a nice shader I can download from the library for free of charge, done by some guy, adapted by Jason Byers. Hello, Jason. Thanks for adapting this shader and giving it to everybody. And now I want to hacking this shader. I want to fiddle, I want to tinker. I don't like the colors, I don't like the movement. I like it round and not square, but I don't know anything about shader programming. But you will see that it's super easy to do. So now I right-click on the thumbnail, and I will open it in the editor. Let's open it. So with the prior knowledge that we have, you see it's grayed out. It's the comment section, okay, where the guy is defining inputs. I scroll down a bit. Okay, this is some stuff. I don't care about what's going on, and this is my function. That's the same function for every material. That takes a 2D pixel coordinate, and that returns a 4D value standing for a color. So now, what is important to know is that on a material, there are 3 ways to sinker. First way is to sinker with the comment section, the inputs that you can generate. Maybe you want to generate new inputs, okay? Then there is a nice place to fiddle is at the beginning of that function, and nice place to fiddle is at the end of that function. And what's in between, I don't give a damn fuck. So now I will try to fiddle with the return value. So now I have this color, okay. So what can I learn from this? I'm returning a 4D coordinate, okay, and I have a call, and I have a floating numbers. So that means that this thing called call is actually a vec3. It's 3 numbers packed together, and I add some alpha. So what happens if this call that I return, I multiply by 10, for instance? Boom, hey, it's live coding, you see? So now it's way more contrasty. Interesting. So now what happens if I create a vec3, okay, with a value of 1 and 1 and 1, okay, so that's 3 times 1 minus my color. Hey, that's an inversion. Look at that, I just made an invert filter over my material. Wow, super easy, super cool. So let me revert that back to where it was, okay. Let me sum up. I can fiddle at the end of my function, but I can also fiddle at the beginning of my function, okay? So look at that. Here, I'm creating a vec2, so that's 2 numbers packed together, called UV orig. Hey, what's that? Maybe that stands for original. UV original equals text coord, means texture coordinate. That's the coordinate of my pixel minus something. I don't mind minus something. So let's try to fiddle with that UV orig. So let's type UV orig equals UV orig multiply by 10. What do we have? Ooh, I'm actually changing the scale of my material, of the design. Look at that, I can zoom in, zoom out. Okay, interesting. So if I multiply the pixel coordinate, actually, I'm changing the scale of the material. So let's do something a little bit more fun. Let's multiply by the sinus, okay, of UV orig, of the original stuff. Holy cow, what's going on? Okay, so now something just happened. I change the pixel coordinates and something round appeared because a sine is a trigonometric function that will round up things, okay, to put it simply. Now I want to see the difference between before and now. And what I can do is deactivate that line, okay, that line that is transforming the pixel coordinates. I can deactivate that line, and this is super easy to do. I could delete the line, okay, yeah, but now I lost the line, Command Z for undo. But what I can do is that I can temporarily deactivate this line with a double slash. Double slash stands for comment. Boom. Oh yeah. So now I deactivated one line of code. I will revert it back. Okay, so now I have 2 designs, the original design and my new modified design. And now I want to blend, yeah, between these 2 designs, maybe based on a MIDI fader or based on the tempo, based on anything. So now I want to mix, yeah, the UV original and the UV original multiplied by the sign of itself based on some coefficient, okay? So I will create a vec2 with a coefficient of 0.5, okay? And now I'm mixing, you can see, between the original design and my new design. But hey, guys, this is MadMapper. I want a slider. I want to be able to move it smoothly and animate it. So what I can do, I can go back, yeah, to the first part where I can fiddle, to this comment section. And in this comment section, you see there, something's happening between these two curly braces. I will copy, boom. I will paste it, boom, and now I have an error, yeah, because I have 2 times the same input. So I will change this. I will call it blend. That's the label that will appear on the right side of the media panel over there. But within the code, I need to give some other name that starts with MAT, material underscore something. Let's call it MAT, material blend. Okay, and this is a float, remember, float is a number, a floating point number, with a minimum value of 0, a maximum value of, I will set it to 1, so it's between 0 and 1. It's called normalized coordinates, okay? And let me copy this, okay, and go back to where I was, it was here, okay, and instead of having this 0.5 hard-coded number, I will input my material blend value, okay. And now you see the blend that I just added appeared there, and I have a slider, and I can go from the original to the modified version with 1 slider. And of course, because it's MadMapper, it's a slider, I can add some audio control, for instance. Okay, put it there. Okay, something like that. But for this demonstration, I will just remove the control and fiddle it manually. Okay, that's super interesting, super fast. Do we have any questions from the internet? No question. And do we have any questions for from the audience? No question. Everybody's understanding. That's hey, we have a super high quality audience over there. They are very focused. Give it up for the audience, for you guys. Okay, we love you. Now I still have a few minutes, so I will add something interesting. So I go back to my code editor. I wanna say that, of course, after this masterclass, when you open up MadMapper, there is a help section over there. And if you go to MadMapper user guides over here, and you can go to real-time reactive visuals, boom. And this is actually a real-time reactive visuals guide that will explain you maybe with more depth what I just explained, and that will help you make your very first material. You see, this is actually exactly the same, but it goes way beyond what I talk and is much more into details. And that's my messy desktop, okay. Let me go back to where I was, if I can, if it wants, okay. And now you can see there's some stuff here written, okay, include something. And in MadMapper, if you go there, also in the help menu, there's a special section for materials. And here we have a material documentation. So it's a very verbose material documentation where we explain each and every function that will help you make materials. And we also have 2 different libraries that are built into MadMapper. There's this SDF library, which stands for Sign Distance Field Library, which I won't cover into this masterclass. And there is the noise library, which I will try to cover into this masterclass. So if I click it, boom, noise library is a small library that implements blah, 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 blah. Boring. But the first line here, include something, include MadNoise GLSL. Okay, let me copy paste this, boom. I go back to MadMapper, if it wants. I go back there, and I will paste it, Command V, #sign include madnoise.glsl. And madnoise is actually a library of different functions that we made for you guys so that it's easier to code and program and give some wobbly effect, give some life, give some organic components to your creations. Because, okay, when it's like that, it's interesting, but if it can move a little bit, it will be much more interesting. So I include that, and if I go back over there, okay, there's a bunch of functions there. I will just take the first one, float, vNoise, vec2p, which means it's a function that's called vNoise that takes a 2 coordinate as an input, and that returns a number. Okay, let's use that. So let me go there. Oh, if it wants. Again, and let me go back to where I was. And now I will create a new number. It's a floating point number that I will call n, stands for noise, equals, I copy vNoise, and it takes a 2D number that I have. Hey, maybe let's use that number, uv_orig, okay. And maybe multiply by something, multiply by, I don't know, 3.22361, whatever, some number. Semicolon. Okay, now the error disappears. And now in my mix function, I'm mixing between the original and my modified version. Maybe I can add a vec2, so that's 2 numbers composed of n and n in both dimensions. And now, whoa, trippy. What happened? I just added this, and now I'm using some generated noise value to completely transform the input coordinates and give this kind of wobbly effect. Actually, in real terms, this is called warping the domain. Wow, guys, and if you are able to warp the domain, it's like much better than Star Trek or Star Wars. Like you will be mastering shaders in no time. So now I add this number, I multiply, let's multiply by, instead of 3, 30. What happens? Boom. So I'm actually scaling this noise value. So this is super cool, this is super easy to do, and with my blending, anytime, boom, I can revert back. Wow. So here, as you can see, with that blend, I am completely changing the design of the original material with just one single line of code. And it's actually super easy because mix, super easy to understand. It's mixing between two things, and sin, actually, it's a sinus. So it's super easy. You already know that, guys. With that knowledge, I will try to push a little bit further and maybe use brand new features that we introduce in MadMapper 4.1 is the ability not only to be able to code materials, but also to be able to code FX. Thank you. We put a lot of work into this function. It's the ability to make FX, and I will just assign something easier for us to understand instead of my original material. Let's put a test card over there. Okay. So now I want to make an FX that will transform this boring text card into something maybe crazier. Okay? So in my code editor still, I click the plus button and I go make new surface 2D FX. Boom, I create it. I need a name. I will call it WKS, standing for workshop, using the empty template. Actually, we were lazy, so there's only one template for the moment, but the application is still in beta. Okay, I click OK. And now I have two things, vertex and fragment shader, whatever. Well, we know that we are interested in the fragment shader. Okay, and here we took some time in the comment section to explain a few things, but also boring. Now with the knowledge that we just got here, we'll try to fiddle and make something cool. So let's activate this FX. Should be over there, WKS, boom. And I activated. Oh, and something is already happening. Oh, I see there's a speed. Let's put it maximum. Whoa, and now it's scrolling. This is the empty template. And let's have a look at what it's doing. So I have this, I still have the comment. This, you know, is making inputs. for your fx, and we have this function. And note that now it's not material color for pixel, it's fx color for pixel. Hey, super easy. And it's taking as an input a vec2, so that's two numbers, stands for coordinates. That's the coordinate of the pixel on your surface. Okay, here it's called this. And it's returning a color. Okay, so we're making this UV, and UV is something that's happening plus fx time. Okay, I don't even want to know what's going on there, but with the knowledge, the prior knowledge that I have, I want to sharp include mad noise.glsl, because that's the name of the programming language that we are using. Okay, no errors, it's working nicely. And now I want to make some noise. Let's make some noise, guys. So with that, let me go there, for instance, or there, and create some noise. Float n stands for noise equals v noise, same function that we had before, v noise of uv. Hey, whoa, I'm a genius. Boom. Okay, the error is gone, and now I have this n number. Whoa. And if I go back over there to the definition, returns a 2D value noise in the range 0 to 1. So that's creating a number, a random number between 0 and 1. Okay, so if I go back to MadMapper, okay, this number, maybe what happens if I add it to the UV? Boom, over there. Oh, yeah, what's going on there? Something interesting. So maybe it's deforming my input. So let's try to scale it. But first, it's a number that goes between 0 and 1. Maybe that range is not that good because it doesn't go under 0. So let's try to subtract 0.5. So it will be a number that goes from 0.5 to 0, from minus 0.5 to 0.5. Okay, and now this UV, let's try to add something to that. To add maybe the sinus of, hey, what do I have? I have this fx time. Hey, let's try to put it in. Fx underscore time. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just fiddling. Oh, yeah, that's a wobbly thing. Wow, that's super cool. Yeah, I had this very simple test card, and now it's a wobbly thing that I can use for my shows. And now I will try to do exactly the same thing that I did before. Here in the inputs, I copy, boom, I paste it, boom, and instead of speed, let's call it blend. And instead of mat underscore blend, now we are into the fx. Let's call it fx underscore blend. Not complicated. And now I want to maybe mix this number noise with something. With what? If I want to revert back to the original, I want to mix it with 0. So I want to mix 0 and my number according to fx underscore blend. Oh yeah, and now it's not working because I forgot a parenthesis over there. Boom, the error is gone. And now I have this slider. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Wow, I find it personally super cool. Don't you find it cool? Because in one line of code, hey, you're the new guy in town. You are a coder now. It's super easy. Yeah, I love that. And I think that with that little knowledge that have, guys, I think you can just start hacking materials. So you can go to the library, boom, and pick any shader that we have over there. Install it in your computer like that. Boom, add to project. Once you have it in your project, you can right click, open it in the editor, boom, and it's always the same principle. It's a very short descriptive packet in comment. It's grayed out. That's your input. And then you have your function, function that I sum up, that takes a 2D pixel coordinate and returns a 4D color. Okay. And I think that concludes my presentation. conclude my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you will start coding right now. Maybe we have a question over the internet? No question? What are you doing, internet? Okay. Okay, hello then. And in the audience, we have a question? No question? Boring. Okay, I'm good, and I think that concludes my presentation, and I will leave it to Moris right now. Thank you, guys.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, my name is Maurice from BadMapper. So today I will show you how to use electronics without any line of code, but with electronics, with an Arduino and the Firmata software, which is included into a module in MadMapper, a module from Laurent Novak, who is here. Hello, Laurent Novak. So the first thing I will show you is to connect a button to set up a light, like that, which is interesting because you can easily have like different kind of button or sensor or anything else you want. So can you switch to my computer, please? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Hello, computer. Thank you, Mika. Okay, first you have to install the idea of Arduino. For people who they know who is it, is this little piece of hardware, which is very low cost, only $20, something like that. And yeah, I will show you on my phone. Where's my phone? My phone is here. Yep. So I will have my camera. Okay. So can you see? So this is the Arduino. Okay. And for connecting a button, you need a little circuit, unfortunately, to the pull up or pull down resistance, which is included into the Arduino, but not working in Firmata, or maybe I don't know why, but yeah, there's a lot of tutorials. I can show you the schematics on my computer. Where is it button also? You can see it's super easy to do, and you can find in internet this little circuit. So when you have the idea of Arduino installed on your computer, I'll show you how to flash the software into the Arduino. So Arduino. So this is the idea. Oh, it's slow. Okay. So you simply go to File and open. No, where is it? Sorry. Example. Okay. And then blah, 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 blah. You will find the Firmata. And then there is a lot of Firmata, but you just take the standard Firmata, okay, which is this code here. And then you compile and you upload in the Arduino. You can see the light blinking now. Okay, I know. Okay, it's probably because I'm already using the Arduino with MadMapper, so we cannot do both together. Anyway, I already did it, so as you can see, I can't. Wow, wow. Where is the things? Applause. So now I will show you an incredible things. I will put 2 buttons. Et là, tu dois mettre rire. Okay. Clac, clac, 2 buttons. Okay. So I have to connect 2 ports in my Arduino. Actually, I put the 11 and the 7. Okay. So I lost my glasses on the floor, but it's okay. I can see well. I don't need my glasses. Okay. You should have right. Okay. No more. Okay. So here in the module, I had the module. I chose Firmata. Okay. And I chose the port 7. I put it in input, and the port 11. I put it in input as well. And now it doesn't work. Because you know what? I forgot to connect my Arduino. So here I will choose the port. Them are a little bit...
Why do you have to select a port? Can you have multiple Arduinos connected?
No, because probably I disconnect my Arduino. Ah, yeah, you can have... So port opened successfully. Oof. Okay, so I guess no, still not working. Ah, yes, it's working. Okay, the 7 is working and the 11 is working also, but nothing is happened because I have nothing in my scene actually in MadMapper. So I will. I have something. Okay, I have that one, but they are not mapped on the right place. So I put the light here. You can see. So I'm going here, and I add a control. Okay. In MadMapper, you have all the modules. I choose Firmata. Then I choose the pin 7 in input. Okay. I do. So this one. No? Oh yeah. Okay. And then.
So you can actually.
I do the same for.
With an interrupter and MadMapper?
Yes, it's incredible, no? Like, but I have the same at my home without MadMapper as well. So now I will put the second one. Okay, so I do the same. I repeat again that by this way you can understand well what I'm doing. So second interrupter, add control. MadMapper, Firmata, and then I chose the port pin 11.
Maybe we can add that on your Arduino it's written 7 on the pin 7. So the number on the Arduino matches the number you choose in MadMapper. There's no complicated stuff.
But you know, I have the pin 11 here, and when I try here to put the pin 11. Oh, okay, now it works. Okay, so now I have two interrupters. Wow.
2 interrupters, thanks to MadMapper.
Yeah, thanks to MadMapper. Okay. So, well, now I will show you something else. Okay. You should imagine. Okay, I show you an example better of an interrupter because I have my special one here. Oh, it's in the wrong way. But I have a problem because my cable is too short to plug my. This. So I will use this one. If I found somewhere. Well, finally, I maybe need my sunglasses. There.
Maybe in the meantime, I can add that thanks to the Arduino, with those little cables, you can not only connect this kind of push button, but you have a lot of humidity sensors, light sensors, proximity sensors, so you can receive a lot of data from small elements. So that's very nice for low-tech art installations or interactive installation. And all those buttons, those sensors can be connected to anything in the software. So it can change the opacity of a video surface, the speed of light animation, change a beam, light beam position or whatever, or trigger a cue where you have all your setup, it changes the color. This is a programming tool, very interesting, and he'll tell you more.
Okay, okay. So next step, I will show you how to control motors. So this thing was a sensor, like we send something, and now we will control something. So this is a little servo motor that you can find easily. I don't know if you show it. Yes. Okay. So I'll put some light, maybe, because it's a bit dark here. Hop, 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 hop. Et voilà. So let's unplug all these things first. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there is 3 cables. Okay. The plus, the ground, and the pin, the data. So I will choose for this example, I don't know, the pin 5. Allez. I put the plus. Sorry. It was supposed to be the Arduino, not my face. So I put the ground on the ground, which is here. Okay, ground. And now I put the red one and the 5 volt. 5 volt here.
So you have pins where there is
okay.
and pins where what exactly are the pins of the Arduino?
Okay. The 5 volt, the ground, and the data.
Okay.
In fact,
you plugged it on the one where it's written 5.
In fact, for people who knows, this kind of motor is controlled by a PWM, which is a frequency. And when the frequency is short, or long is a different position. It's very simple, and I will not.
But you don't have to know about that. You just select.
You don't have to know about that because you just have to plug it like that. And then you go in MadMapper and you choose. So you Firmata, and you choose the pin 5, and you put in servo, and then you can see it's turning. I show you with my So I have to put my phone in the other window, close to MadMapper. Up, clack, 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 clack. Okay. Okay, okay. And then you can see. Woo, woo, woo. Nice, huh? So. I'll show you the schematics for that. Okay, button servo. So that we explained before. So now I would like to use like much powerful motors, and I have some here. I think you can't wait to see that. But these motors are so powerful that they need an external power supply. So I have my scientific power supply, but just because I'm testing stuff, but you can buy a normal power supply. But this one is very convenient for me because I can adjust the perfect voltage, which is between 6 and 7.2 or 3, I don't remember exactly, for this servo motor that I bought in Amazon, sorry. And I don't recommend you to buy the same because there is no documentation, you don't know how to connect the cable, and I put it randomly and it was working, so I'm pretty lucky. So well, let's get my new circuit. So I will show you the schematic first, okay? It's not very complicated, don't worry. In fact, it's super simple. So you just connect the servo motor on the ground on the voltage, and the data on the ground to the Arduino. So I already make it here to make it simpler for the demonstration. So I have my power. Oh, sorry. I lost my glasses again. No, it's not my glasses. Okay. So I have my voltage here, and I did a little connector like that to go faster. So I will take it off the first motor. Okay. I will put the ground up. Okay. And I will choose, I don't know, the pin. Someone say a number? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2? Do? Ah, 2? Okay. Number 2. 1. Okay. So, but this way you can see it's really alive. I'm not cheating. Pin number 2, servo, and it doesn't work. A classic.
He's doing it live, yes.
So what's wrong? Oh, I put the wrong cable. Look at that. Oh, I'm stupid. No? Up. I put this one on number 2. Oh, I saw something moving. Okay. Whoa. So I can connect now my light to any controller. So for instance, this one with the same process. Add control. Then this one is in MIDI, so I choose the MIDI. And
the learn button.
Learn. Yeah, I'm here. Okay, and now I can turn my light just like that. Okay. I can also
leave learn mode.
Hmm?
Leave the learn mode.
Oh, I think
it'll be easier. Okay.
You can see.
Let's applause.
So let's connect the other one. This one. Okay, I will go.
Maybe while he's doing so, I will show you some stuff about controls. So here we have a control for the minimum of the MIDI slider to the...
Yeah, which will be very useful for that one.
So the minimum value of my slider is the minimum value of the motor. And the maximum value of the slider is the maximum value of the motor. But here I have the source range and the target range. And if I change the target range, I will change the range of the engine. Sorry. So here, that's the range I selected. So I can already choose from what value to what value. And in the output range, here it's not useful with this MIDI controller, but if you have a light sensor or a humidity sensor, you may want to specify that if someone gets closer to interactive installations, it will change stuff and the engine will be moving. And so you can program all those behaviors without using code, without having a big patch with a lot of wires going. You can do a lot of programming already with controls and the modules in MadMapper. So Firmata already integrates, the Firmata module already enters in this workflow, where you have all the things inside one software. And you can already do a lot with that. I changed the range.
You changed the range, okay.
Of the other one.
Okay. So let's do a show now. Okay, so I will choose my different position, like this one like that, this one like that, this one like that. I'm sure you can do better. Oh, the cable is a little bit short, huh? Yeah. Okay. Everything works.
It's all working fine.
Okay. So I have my position. Now I will shoot on the light, and one light is missing. I don't know where it is. I will recreate it.
Touch to your button.
Huh? No, it was missing real, for real.
Is it patched correctly? The third one.
3. Okay. Okay, perfect. And then
Why do you have black pixels on this one? That's because of the test pattern?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
okay.
because look, it's completely randomly placed, so I will place it.
Yeah, they cannot
better.
see anyway the lights.
Yeah, in fact, so it's not a super important for the demonstration. But if you know MadMapper, you can do a lot of stuff with LEDs. And right now I'm using this grid, so that's why. Well, you cannot see, but that's why.
Actually, MadMapper is sampling the pixels from the image to send it as a DMX, like the lighting protocol, to control the pixels of the those lighting fixtures. They cannot see it. You have to.
Yeah, but it's on the camera.
Sorry.
Where is my glasses?
The one you said you didn't need?
No, but it's okay. Don't worry, I don't need my glasses. Maybe on my head? No? Okay. Okay. So well, I will use the sen and q to memorize this position, and now I will do another position, like with the direction up and right.
Are you sure the scenes are storing the Firmata? Okay.
Sure. I can show you, because now if I go back to the first scene, second scene, but for this one I will do a beautiful color of all the color that I can do. Okay. I update my scene. Okay, and then I will create another one. Okay, like this one. And I will choose how many times? 5 seconds between every scene.
You haven't stored the last time.
Yeah.
You haven't stored it.
Yeah, because
but you have a green one. The green one is very bad.
Okay, offline. I don't know if you can see something. Yeah, I guess. Okay. More or less, I save the scene, and then I play, and I have my 3 scene playing.
Can you make a fade between the different setups?
Yeah, of course. For example, let's do another one. I don't know.
C'est le truc, il y a les cartons. Les cartons.
This one. And then I put everything to black with a solid color. For example, well, solid color is white, but I will choose. Oh no, I can just. There is much more simple. I just select my fixture here, and I put the luminosity to 0, and I save the scene. Then when I come from here, I have a fade. Okay, but I have fade. Yeah.
You can directly double-click the fade
5 seconds. And now
you can select all and type the fade once.
Oh. You want to show something? Because it is the master of Q.
Yeah, well, I programmed it, so of course I know it. Up, 1 second maybe. Up. Maybe you can do something nicer.
So
it's 5 seconds between playbacks. Let's put it 2 seconds. Let's make it move. And okay. So here actually this one is taking, that's the fixture. One is taking a small part of the picture. Let's make something nicer. The third fixture, I will take the next part, and then I will make a serpentine going through the fixtures. Oops, so it doesn't look random. Okay. Okay.
I don't move the light, huh?
I don't move the
my
lights.
head are in the middle. Okay. I had another. I will. I had
So
another
actually,
one.
MadMapper is using pixels to drive the LEDs, sending DMX. It's using, you have stored in the queues. You have stored in the queues presets of positions of the engine, which are moving the sliders from the Firmata module. And the sliders of the Firmata modules are moving the engines.
Mm-hmm. And you know, you can also not just controlling LED or things, but you can have like some panels or. Ooh. So let's do a little installation with this toilet paper. Okay. Let's say the first position when it's stable is this one. I will erase the cell. Okay, this one. But maybe we want to put some light here. So let's have some light on the toilet paper. Okay, for the start. Okay. Okay. Maybe a full color. Okay. Up. Let's put the full color everywhere. Okay. Wow, bright. Okay, so this is my first position. Okay. Update scene.
So the scenes in MadMapper are actually storing almost everything, like the lighting fixtures, the video surfaces, the Firmata module, so the position of the motors. You press scene and it will store everything. And if you want to store just some parameters, you can use queues, and then you can make queues, which are basically a record of different values of different parameters. You choose which ones. You can change the fade, the transition time from value, the current value, to the value you stored in the queue for each different parameter. So it's quite, it allows quite complex programmation. I will show you a bit about this after.
So when the toilet paper will be gone, the light will be blinking. Okay. Okay. Let's remember some Swiss artist who was making some installation like that. Okay. But no, it could be nice to have the button. So let's put a button. And maybe everything will explode.
Another challenge.
Another challenge. Or maybe I can use that one. That one, in fact, is in MIDI, but it could be also made with an Arduino. For that, I need a cable.
But take this one.
Ah, yeah, this one. Exactly. You're clever. Okay. I'm scary about declenching these things by accident, so first, okay. Alors, add control, MIDI, learn, and then, oh, okay, perfect. So, let's go back in my scene. Let's place it like that. Okay, I have only one chain, so what? But I have some spare. By the way, if you want some toilet paper, there is a lot of toilet paper downstairs. You ready? Ready, 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 ready. Okay, okay, it's not finished. It looks like it was the end, but it's not. The next things I will show you how to hack MadMapper. Unfortunately, we have to hack MadMapper for that. To use shader for controlling the motor directly. You remember, Franz, just before, show you how to make shaders. So all these materials that you can see on my screen, like this kind of stuff, are shaders. And it's possible to use it to control directly the motors. So
you can use a shader, but you could also use a movie.
Yeah, a movie, yeah, exactly. You have to sample the pixel on your picture, on your scene, to use it, not just for the LEDs, but also for motors. And it's something that will become on MadMapper in a future where we don't know when exactly. Oh, thank you. That's a good idea.
Thanks.
So, let's have 2 seconds of break. 1, 2.
So let's hack.
Okay, so I have another little things to put somewhere, and I need some extra tools. Who they are? I lost my glasses, so it's complicated here. Okay. Okay. Mathieu?
Oui.
Could you help me for this special setup? Because with 2 hands up, it will be more
what
easy.
do you need?
So we need to put these things here.
We don't need this one anymore.
But we. Okay. So. Right. So let's get. Ouais, comme ça, regarde.
With the motors. Okay.
Voilà. My plan was to make it before, but the place was a bit limited. So, but it's more funny, you can see all the process. You can see I just fixed my motor on this little piece of metals. But this way you can probably do crazy. Okay. So let's connect everything again. Up.
Okay. So while it's installing, I can show in Firmata module some technical things. It's not complicated. Actually, when you connect an Arduino, it appears as a port in MadMapper. So in the Arduino module, you have to select the port. You see my screen. Okay. So here you can see under the Arduino module, you can select the port of the Arduino. You can select the model because there are small Arduinos who knows like this. It's really cheap hardware. It's really can really be in the in a lot of conditions. It's very strong, and so it's a nice tool for doing a lot of things. And you don't have to program because it's using the standard Firmata protocol. So MadMapper can communicate with the Arduino pins in and out, whatever you connect on it. If you connect a light, something that a push button, all the things you can connect to the Arduino without having to write code for the Arduino. You just upload the standard Firmata code that is available everywhere.
Non, mais ça touche le.
And you can MadMapper can communicate through that.
Can you, Pierre, move the light? I think there is a little problem because I think it is touching.
Can I have the screen?
I don't know. Can you move?
Okay.
I can see,
So
can you move the slider?
I can see the number of the pins, and the pin /2 is a
or...
pin of the Arduino where you have the number 2 written. So we try to make things very easy because we try to make a tool not for engineers but for visual artists, for people working on projects, not for engineers' brain who have to. So if you see the pin/2 in MadMapper, it means the pin where it's written to on the Arduino. And depending on the device you're using, we change the naming of the pin so it matches what you really see on the device. And on the pin 2, the mode actually is servo because we connected a servo motor. If we connect like LED, we will choose PWM. It's like that. So a lot of tutorials about how to connect things to Arduino. That's really popular. And you can also use it as input. As input, you receive an analog. We receive analog voltage, like for humidity sensors or those kind of distance sensor. And then we receive a voltage, so it becomes a number between 0 and 127 in MadMapper. And this, whatever, it's a slider that is moving, and you can connect it to anything. Like you can say if the distance from my sensor to the person is less than this, then start this queue, and then it will trigger something like changing a video, restarting the video from the beginning, moving motors, or a lot of things. So that's the idea of Firmata. It opens a lot of doors. And of course, it exists in a lot of softwares, but MadMapper was at the origin of really video mapping software. Then we did the lighting stuff, and then we've been into the more programming opportunities. And this one is really adding a lot to people working with small hardware, because it really makes the... We can already communicate with OSC, MIDI, DMX, and like PlayStation controllers. We can connect to a lot of things. OSC is a network protocol that is working with a lot of things. So people generally doing that while using MadMapper and another software. Now we made it simpler to do that in a single software. Sorry.
No problem.
Moris again.
Okay, so for that we're gonna do a ArtNet loopback. That means we send like DMX ArtNet, and we get it back in the same computer. So for that, firstly, we go in the preferences, and here you can see I have my DMX output already to ArtNet, and then I will do the same for the input, and you will see it will be not really happy, because they will see don't do that, but you can do it. Okay, so I will create a little fixture in DMX with just 3 levels of gray. Okay, so I will name it Mad Mapping, whatever. So here is type of luminosity. And I have 3 pixels, okay, and then I use it directly here. My mad blah blah blah. Where is it? Oh, there is too much. Okay, you know what? You can put a little stairs here, up, and then your fixture is coming on the top.
Okay.
I don't
So actually, Boris is doing like if he was driving light. But he will use it to receive the data back to control something. So he will use the process of controlling light, because you can use DMX as input. He receives back the data he's sending, and he will use it to drive other things.
I will use a universe which is not already used by my LED, to not like making like a conflict, or. But it could be nice also to use the same and have the lightness coming and making a movement, but whatever. For this simple example, I will just do a gradient.
If someone understands, please put the end. There's someone who understands!
Really? Yeah? Any question? No, not yet?
Allez,
because it's
yes.
Does information come from MadMapper to your interface, or the contrary?
No, actually, it's a local loopback. He's sending DMX over Ethernet, and he receives it back in the same, in MadMapper 2, because we broadcast on the network, so he receives it just to use the pixel colors to drive some parameters. Because we don't have a feature internally to take a pixel color and to have it as a control for a parameter. We do it for lights, but now we really want to do it because we see the interest. Sorry.
I'm scary about the LED because, as you can see, it's...
Yeah, but you can specify the range, the range.
The range, yes.
Yeah, you have a target range.
So you will save my life, do it please.
Okay, that one.
But all of them.
All of them, so
yeah.
This one.
Because my other solution, it was like two guys
doing nothing. This one. Okay.
But you can do it in MadMapper. Yeah, but I was already happy to imagine this scene.
So
you taking the LEDs, and but it's too
you can show the computer.
Have fun.
I will do the. So actually, MadMapper is taking. He made a fixture, DMX fixture here. That is taking the pixels of the gradient animation and sending it to DMX Universe 4 on channel 1, 2, and 3. So it's taking the lightness of the pixel only. And it's complex. It's hacking, but and the first one will drive this engine. So I had a control DMX, and I specify the range. Ooh, before it's too late.
Too late?
Okay, no, it's okay, it's okay. Okay, and I can copy the settings of this control. That's the first one. Okay, it's patched correctly, that's okay. And the second one, paste settings. Okay, and the third one, paste settings. And which one is it? Okay.
Tu les as pas décalés?
Ouais, mais normally they should be.
Okay.
Because what's in your DMX? Let's open the DMX monitor. You're on RGB. No, Universe 4, Universe 4. Okay.
Yeah, because right now you're using this.
It's not okay what you're sending. I don't know what you're sending.
Universe 4. You're in Universe 3.
Okay. Universe 3 is this one.
No, the 4. This one.
Okay. So I was looking at this Universe 3, and that's Universe 4.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing a mapping from the wrong one.
Exactly, that's why.
Because you have choose input universe here. And it's Universe 4. Okay.
Hey, voilà. You can see.
So actually.
It's nice.
And let's put a line. Let's choose another visual.
Yeah, I know one is very funny, it's this one.
You can smooth then, by controlling the picture here, I'm controlling the motors. Make the line. And I can change the speed of the animation.
Let me play a little bit. Attention, go.
And make them blink at the same time that they change.
Yeah.
Qu'est-ce que ça fait? Noise. Yeah. Noises are great.
Oh.
It's almost always black. Noise is nice. Noise. Take the noise and by playing with the scale. Spectrum. Noise is an interesting one for showing this kind of things.
It was the. Let's see if this bug is fixed. Yes.
Okay.
So this is the end of my presentation. So it's, I think, your turn, Mathieu.
Okay, thanks, Maurice, for this very interesting introduction to the new Firmata module in MadMapper. So actually, I'm working on the software, so I know it very well, and I hope you'll understand. If you don't understand what I'm doing, just let me know. I will try to show you a few things because there are a lot of people know MadMapper because maybe show my computer. MadMapper is a popular tool because it's quite easy to take to use. Actually, that's really our focus is to make the software accessible to everyone, and so people can do their project as fast as they can and don't have troubles with I turn my installation on and off each day, and it's going to the wrong video projector. And we did a lot of work to handle all those small cases. But there are also a lot of work that has been done to help people programming more complex installations. And a lot of people do not know this part. So I will try to go into what you don't, maybe people who know MadMapper don't know about don't know they can do it in MadMapper. So I have quite a lot of, what can I use as I will take this. So if I take MadMapper and I drag and drop a movie, it will make me a rectangle, video rectangle. Actually, it's a video surface. And here I have my rectangle, which represents my projector. So on the top left, I have the video tab. Here I have the projector tab. And this is a video projector. I can create multiple ones, and I can assign them to different hardware connected projectors. So actually, I drag and drop a surface. It does a quad. I can change the perspective, of course, the basis of video mapping, and we can add warping, mesh warping to really match the geometry of the output. So if we prepare the video for building, we can directly really match the building with the content we prepared to be projecting to it. So that's really the basis. I won't spend time on those kind of features. What I want to show you is more about how to control MadMapper in interactive installations, fixed installations, or some live stuff. I will take a first case. That's an hypothetical installation. That will let me show you different situations. So I already prepared the project, so I don't spend time drawing a mask, but I will show you anyway how to do it as fast as I can. So I take this picture as a background. This is actually what I'm supposed to project on. I hope you see it correctly. So that's a mannequin. I can suppose that I will have a projector ready wrapping this part of the place. So I can actually cover with video, with a single video projector, all this. And I want to send different content to the different parts. So the first thing I would like to do is to create a surface, a video surface for the body, for instance, of this mannequin. So I will put the opacity lower so I can see. Oops, I don't need the cues actually. And I have a quad here. I can make my quad smaller. I won't do the wall process. Oops. I want to do a video quad that will only draw to the face of this mannequin. So actually, I made a quad, and I could try to preserve the perspective, but it really doesn't matter for what I'm doing here. And below, in the mask properties here, so all those properties are related to the object I selected above. which is my quad 1 that I could code head, but I have head demo because I already created the real surface I'll use after. And I made some transparency so I can see where I am actually drawing. And I have the mask area here where I can ask, I can create a free mask that I will draw by hand in real time. Applause, applause. I know at the end. Okay. So I'm actually drawing the mask. I will do only one because you don't want to see me doing that for 5 minutes. But you see the process is quite fast anyway. Oops. Let's make it clean anyway. So as you can see, I can zoom in and zoom out and move while drawing. So it's quite fast to draw masks. So actually my masks, if I put my surface opacity higher, is removing from my surface the thing I've been drawing. So I want to go to my mask properties and invert the mask. Okay, so actually if I take some content, I'm sending this content only to the face. If I want to do it, it wouldn't look like that. I could put it to additive mode, okay, so we can actually see the face, which is video mapped. Actually, I can also use a feature. I can show you. It's nice. We did some parameters on the masks in quad. You have feathering. So if I add some feathering, it will smooth the mask. And actually, I don't want the feathering to be centered on my drawing, but to be inside. So I don't. If I put something you can understand. Let's make a red visual here. I call it red. I choose red, and you see I don't want my mass feathering to go outside the area, so I choose feathering inside, and I've got actually this. This is too much. I want just some feathering so I don't see the pixels on the border, because I like when it's clean. Okay, so I made a surface where I can put some content on the face, and I already prepared the surface, so I won't spend more time on this. And those surfaces, yeah, they are in multiply mode actually. Okay. So I have one surface for the body, where I can put whatever content I want. One surface for the head, and I did some for the floor, the sail, left wall, right wall, and the foot of the mannequin. Okay. Actually, my idea is that I want that each time someone enters in the room, the installation is not the same. So what I will use a sensor, a Firmata module, so I will connect my sensor to the pin 4, I will put the Firmata module on the pin 4, I will choose input, analog input, so I will receive a value of distance when someone passes by the door. It will trigger, I want it to trigger a random setup of face, body, a random mix of the face visual, body visual, maybe the colors too, and maybe, why not, a different audio playback. I haven't prepared some audio, so I will skip this part, so that YouTube doesn't censor the video after. So, how will I do that? I already prepared one, so I will just make a new QBank that I will call demo. And in this QBank, I will prepare different setups, or maybe I can use one I already did. Why not? So I prepared one setup where the head is white, dunes here. I use a cloud material on this one, the clouds. This is a material that is in MadMapper, and noise, a slow noise. So it's very slow. And for the body, I prepared a white dunes material, some other thing like this, and it's not an artistic project. I really prepared it fastly. So sorry if you have some taste. I'm sorry. Apologize. That's a technical demo actually. And I want that each time I press a button, it goes to a random column on the line for the head and on a random column on the line for the body. So I will need to use modules, and we have a lot of, I haven't created an account, so you shouldn't look at what's happening here. I will create a queue scheduler. And the queue scheduler is made to schedule queues, but it's also doing automation. I will explain that. That's a big point of this session. So if I press first, there are some scheduling and automation settings here. I will zoom in this part. Okay. There are some scheduling and automation settings, and there is a queue settings, which is actually the target of my queue scheduler, and I want it to trigger column 1 to 4 on the row, the queue row 1. So I will choose start queues in range, start row 1, end row 1, start column 1, end column 4. Mode random. I want it to be random. And now I can use automation. Actually, automation will trigger randomly. It will trigger automatically each 1 second, for instance. So actually, each 1 second is changing the phase. Okay, I don't want to do that, but I show what automation means. We can do automation synchronized on the beat, and in latest version we can do automation depending. Well, I won't disturb you with that. And what is so automation is to trigger things automatically. I can put it to 10 seconds. Of course, I can do a fade. And I can also do scheduling, but I will show you on the building part, another part of this demonstration. So actually what I want is to trigger a random queue manually when I push a button. So or when someone enters, I will use a button because I don't have Firmata stuff. I don't want to lose time with that. I can do it actually by pressing the Go Next Now button. So each time I press Go Next Now, it will go to a new random queue inside the range I specified, because I have chosen mode random. If I choose mode loop, each time I press Go Next Now, it will go to the next. So left, right. When it ends, it goes left, right. And if I have multiple rows, it will do like the left, right, top to bottom. I want it random. And I will use a MIDI key. So up, next. So now, actually, I'm changing the visual. In fact, in my queue, I have to show you that. That's an important point. How have I done those records, those queues? Actually, if I drag and drop my head surface inside the queue bank on a cell, it will store all the parameters of this surface in the cell. So now we can look what's inside the queue. I will open the inspector with the button on the right here, and if I select here, I have a tree view of all the settings that are in my queue. Surfaces, head, blend mode, color, FX, input flip, input geometry, masks, mesh wrapping, opacity, output geometry, soft edge, visible, visual. All the settings are stored in my queue. In fact, I just wanted to store the visual here, so I didn't have to drag and drop my surface entirely, but it takes less time, so that's what I've done. And it makes things easy for people. I drag and drop my surface, it stores all my surface properties. It didn't store, so it did store the visual property of this surface, so which visual is assigned to this surface, but didn't store the visual properties, like the speed of the animation. This is a media parameter. This is not a visual parameter. If you want to store the visual assigned to the head surface and the parameters of the visual, I also have to drag and drop the visual inside my queue. And now we can see in the queue inspector here that I also have medias, body slow noise, brightness, contrast, reverse, scale, speed. All the parameters of the media assigned to the head video surface. If we have an option in MadMapper called Edit Queue Mode. It's the edit button on top of the queue bank here. And if I enter the edit queues mode, I see all the things that are stored in my queue are becoming red if they have the same value in my queue that the current value in the model, so what is actually being sent to the outputs. So actually all is red because it's common, it's the same value in my queue that in the model. If I select if I select the white queue, where my visual for the light surface for the head surface is white, we can see that the visual parameter here is yellow under because it's not the same value that it is actually. And the effect actually of starting a queue is just to send all the values of the parameters stored in the queue to the model. So if I stored a visual of a surface, speed of an animation in a queue, when I press the play button, it will just change those two values. And if I put a fade time, so we have different fade transition, so linear transition, there are some curved ones, so it's smoother. And if I have a transition, it will go from the value it had when you pressed the queue and the value stored in the queue. So if the actual speed of my noise animation is 0.5 and in my queue it's 1, and I tell him to do a fade of 2 seconds, it will just per default do a linear transition from 0.5 to 1 in 2 seconds. But if it was 0, it will do a transition from 0 to 1 in 2 seconds. Any questions? Anyone already sleeping? Okay. Questions on internet? Sorry if I send too much information, just tell me, go faster. So we have made things so as much as we can so people can understand. That's why you see it's a nice preview with surfaces, body, blend modes, things that people can understand. At least people who knows Photoshop and those things. I drag and drop my head surface in all those queues, but I stored also the colors of my surfaces, and I don't want to store the color because I want to do it separately so that each time someone enters the room, I have something different on the face and on the body and a random tone too. Okay. At what time did I start?
Started at 15.
Okay, good. Perfect. So I will remove the color records from all my queues. How will I do that? So I will select all those queues for the head, I select the color parameter inside the queue inspector. I press delete, and now it deletes the color parameters from all the selected queues. So I did it once. I select the second line of queues for the body. I remove the color parameters because I don't want it to be stored in my queues. And now I will create new queues for color. Okay, so it's white, it's white. So I will remove the information, the color from the name of my queues. Let's make it logical. And here I create a third line of queues with just the color levels, the color setups of all my surfaces, actually. So floor, cell, left wall, right wall, foot, body, head. And I want to store only the color, because if I drag and drop all this in a queue cell, it will store all the parameters of all the surfaces, and so it will also store the visual. So when I will trigger a random thing, it will override the other queues that are triggered. Clear? Okay, so I want to store only the color. So I press the edit button in the queue bank. I click the color here, pick, and now it's stored, as you can see, the color settings of all my selected surface in one click. Applause, please. And thanks. No, it's too much. Stop. Okay, and I call it body white or body white background. Voilà, it's too long, so let's start it. And now I will change my color settings, and I want the guy to be, the girl to be in a more nicer color. Okay, and I store this one. Same thing, I select all my video surfaces, and I select the other queue. I enter the edit queue mode. It's there's a shortcut for that if you look in the edit menu, and I press the color, and in one click I stored all the colors of all my selected surfaces. I've got some words sticking on my screen. And okay, color 2 up. And now I will try another thing. I don't know if it will be nice. I haven't tested it. I put a green background. It's just a technical demo. And generally, the opposite color is cool. Let's do something like this. I'm sorry if there are artists in the room. Oops, I know. No, don't drag and drop. Be concentrated. That's a feature of MadMapper that it's not. No, I want to show all those things. Generally, MadMapper is quite simple. This feature needs some concentration. That's the one you don't need to be drunk to use. Generally, it's not working correctly. Oops. We have the drunk version. It's called scene. It stores everything. So what you see is what you will see when you press the button. But it has some limitations, and for this interactive installation, I need to be concentrated. Okay, so I have 4 rows that are controlling different things. I have actually one queue scheduler, which is my head scheduler. We are almost there. I almost finished my interactive installation. I just need Moris to plug the sensor. 1 or 2 days. Sorry, joke. Body up, body scheduler, and row, start row 2 and row 2. So this is this scheduler. Okay, I forgot to show something. I selected the head scheduler. I pressed Command D, which means duplicate. So it will create a new queue scheduler with the settings being copied already. So it's already in random, it's already starting queues in range, and it's already from column 1 to column 3. I don't have to do it again because I just duplicated the module. I can also copy, paste, or use edit, duplicate. So I will duplicate it a third time and call it color scheduler. Oops, and now I have 3 schedulers that will do my random installation. I miss I miss another row for the audio. Sorry?
You would like something?
No, that was a joke. No, I want to make things simple. This button is when someone enters the room. No. So, thanks. Okay, so now, okay, I have assigned a control to trigger randomly the next queue on the first row line, which is for my head. I will do it, so I enter the edit MIDI controls mode. I take my body scheduler, I take the go next button, and I press my MIDI button. I take the color scheduler, I choose the go next button, and I press my button, and now I can start full screen. Oops, and each time I will press, well, that's random. And the music should be changing. It doesn't change the colors, and my colors are crappy. Because I forgot on the color scheduler to set row 3 to row 3. And now I have a setup where, oops, let's put, so if I select all my cues here and I double click the fade time, I put 1 second and it will do a fade between my colors, my visuals, randomly. Of course, it's not nice because this wasn't a good idea. But so that's something we can do with the scheduler. Is to, I wanted to show that you can do random things and control live. So use a trigger to change some parameters with presets of parameters savings, and that's how it is. Now we can go further, but I don't want to go much deeper. But I could, in fact, we can see in this example that some colors and some visuals don't go very well together. Some presets for the head and for the body are not going well together. And maybe I would, for that, do some groups that are correct together. So from from column 1 to 4, I would have setups of for the 4 different parts of my show that matches. And at another position, I will do some other that match together. And then I could change my scheduler settings. For example, on the Thursday, I want colors to be like that. On the Tuesday, I want that. I will show it later. With the schedule option. So, any questions at this point? Okay. That's so I really wanted to first that you really understand how to store queues, what's in there, and then how I control it with the queue scheduler. And I will take another example now. Tell me if I'm too long, Pierre, because I don't know when I should stop. Okay. Ah oui, d'accord. Okay. So I open another project. It's a building. I won't spend too much time, but I want to show something anyway, because that's something we use when we do ourselves, when we do a show. Like we did a Climax festival. Sorry, Climax Festival in Bordeaux a lot of years, and we have a stage with lights in the windows. We have a big wood structure with LEDs, and sometimes we have a video projector there, and we have stroboscopes, and we drive all within MadMapper. Generally multiple computers, so we have fun together. Like a music band, but with video and lights. And what I do for that is actually what we do, we generally use a kind of loopback like Moris did, but a bit simpler because we can see the picture of it. So actually, what you see, okay, you can see my screen. What you see here is actually the video sent to a video projector. So that will be my full screen output on my video projector. I'm projecting on this building. If I show you the original picture, my original picture is this. So that's the building. I suppose I will do a project there anyway. That's the picture I found. And I want to have a small preview of what's happening. So instead of looking at this picture, in fact, I send this video projector here. I click the publish to spout option. So actually I'm allowing other applications to use my video output. We also have published to NDI to send the video output of this video projector on the network. So any NDI application can receive it. And so you can receive it on another computer, on Windows, on Mac, or on some hardware devices which are doing HDMI output or network protocol. And Siphon is a local loopback within the graphics card. It's really powerful because there's no compression, decompression, video compression or decompression, so it doesn't use performances. And I'm taking back this picture on a video surface in MadMapper so that I add it to the picture of my building. That's in the group that I called video preview group here. Oops. And I did a lot of small line, mad lines. So the line tool we did to draw lines like this, hop, for around the windows. And this one, I will get it back to put DMX fixtures to control like LED bars that I will put inside my windows. So actually, the other projector, the left one, which is called DMX loopback, this part is going back to my DMX fixtures, and I put DMX fixture to take the color here. So I think, okay, if I press my button 1, my key 1 on the computer keyboard, it will light a video surface. This video surface will light some pixels. It turns on, it's just a white square at some point. I can show it to you. It's in the strobe group here. And in the strobe group, I have actually three things. So I have a video quad that is a white rectangle that I placed here, so that when I push my button, it becomes white, and then my DMX fixture is taking this white and sending it to the strobe, so the strobe will turn on when I light my pixels there. So I can have a kind of preview of what I'm sending in a video, and I add in the same group, surface group, I add a preview surface, which is actually doing a strobe on my preview. If I turn it off, you don't have the strobe, which means that actually now I'm using MadMapper to do video output, DMX output, and a kind of preview. And for the, okay. But the other pixels of this video projector are not used at all. It's tricky, but that's why I'm here. And the speed square that is here, it's the DMX strobe speed video surface is actually dimmed by by this one. Okay, it's actually dimmed by this, and I can change the speed of my strobe, and my strobe speed is also taken by a DMX fixture in MadMapper. It's a small square, it's a pixel with luminance only, so it will take the luminance of this that I'm changing with my MIDI fader. I'm seeing the pixel color changing on the screen. MadMapper will take this pixel color and send it to the DMX channel corresponding to the speed of this stroboscope. So actually, I haven't made the way. I have a button to trigger the surface, a button to change the speed, and I just added something so that I can see my strobe also on my screen. And I made some lights in the same fashion. I made some lights groups of surface, and this light is lighting the square that I will take for DMX fixture to send to a dimmer in DMX to turn the light on, and I will remove the video up, and it will light different sections in my preview, which is not used anyway, so it won't have any effect except that I can see the lights changing here. Okay. So actually, I could do some setups of this installation in my QBank and some nice records, and I will do a few ones. I would need a timeline for those lights. So actually, I will do like Moris did, but more simply. I will use some shadow animations to drive my lights and my strobe. That's a tricky one, but that's very cool. I will put a gradient animation, or no, line patterns animation. I always use this one. I remove the perspective, and I will put it over my 3 lights, maybe. Hop, hop, hop. Yep. Okay. And I remove the noise. So actually, I'm changing the pixel colors of the square I'm using for DMX. So inside my DMX fixtures here, I will receive that. So actually, in the real world, if I look at the DMX monitor, it's M. DMX output is deactivated, that's why. If you take the time to read the message, it works. It's working better. Okay. Okay. So here you can see that my channel 3, 4, 5 of DMX, which are driving lights, are moving with my pixels in this area. So I could do a record of this, and in this scene, I don't want to have my stroboscope. But if I do that, I have to change something else. I won't take much time for it. Okay. So I have my preview. Preview, strobe, preview. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. DMX, channel 1. Okay. Light, DMX, channel 2. Hop. Light 2, no, it's DMX channel 3, the light 1, 3, 4, 5. That's how I configured. 4, light 3, DMX 5. Oops. Okay, so my preview matches what actually I'm sending. So actually my strobe preview is channel 1. 1, 3, 3. I have to present, that's not cool. Okay. So actually my video animation is triggering sorry, I've got an issue. No, it's okay. That's me. It's my brain. Okay, the strobe is on. It should be off. Okay, so I'm using this video animation to trigger the mix that will turn on the light. I will do another animation to trigger this. I was doing a live setup and now I'm doing fixed. Anyway, I'm doing a sequence. I will take another quad and I will sometimes turn on the stroboscope with that one. Okay, up here, and when the light, when my line patterns up, when my line pattern will enter the rectangle I selected here as the input of my rectangle here, it will turn on the stroboscope. Okay, up. So now I've got some video animations that are actually triggering some DMX outputs, and I take back the DMX, so I have a preview inside MadMapper. Here I have a video surface, and I select some content to display on it. Ups, okay, up. I won't spend time in creation. I'm sorry for those who have taste. And I can store a scene with that, and so you will understand what a scene is. The scene actually just stored everything. It's nice too sometimes. You have less control, but it makes things more simple. And I will do another setup. No, that was nice. That one was nice for the strobe. I will make another pattern for the lights. I will use noise. So actually, if I do the noise here, it will light some of the pixels of my noise here will turn on and off the 3 lights that I made in my setup, and I can reduce the scale of my noise up, and I can reduce the contrast so that the brightness, so that it turns the light less frequently. So as you can see on the picture of my media here, by turning on brightness and contrast, I can choose how much I want light in the pixels, and that will change how often my light will turn on and off. That's something we often do, and then you can see what's happening. I've got some random things. The video part is crappy, so I will change it. In fact, I will do some lighting effects like for the DMX. Slower, up. Okay. So actually I've got shaders doing some noise on the video, and sometimes the lights coming on and off. I'm happy with that. I save it. I'm really happy. I found it so great. And now if I press scene 1, I have what I had before with the ting, chang, jong of lights, and my zebra on the video projector, and sometimes the stroboscope coming. And if I press the second one, I have this. And I will stop there because yeah. Okay. So there are very good software to have a preview of the lights and stuff, but they're generally very expensive and very complex to learn. I just did it in a few minutes in MadMapper because I know it well, but I'm sure if you try to make your preview, you will do it well. So I've got this setup. I have 2 queues with 2 stuff, and what I want to do now is to create a module. I will show you something, the queue scheduler module, and now I want something to happen on, I want to start the scene 1 on the Monday at 9 o'clock, but on the Tuesday at 9 o'clock, I want to start the scene 2. So I will press the schedule button, and here, actually here, each month on the Monday at 9 o'clock, 9-0, I want to start, and then I have actually start columns in range. I want to start a column. I want to start column 1. I could also start specified column, then I don't have to enter 1, I just have to enter 1 once. So I selected column 1, which means that actually, and I can call it Monday at 9. That's my scheduler. For Monday at 9, it will call scene 1, because it triggers column 1. But on the Tuesday at 9, I want up, and I can tell also if I specify year or months, I can tell on the 1st January at this time, do that, triggers that column, triggers that, I can tell on each Tuesday of February, do that. And I can also activate the automation, and then if I activate the automation, I can say on the Tuesday from 9 to 11, you play the things that are in this part of my queue bank. For doing so, I just have to automate, and then it's from hour to hour. So from 9 to 8 p.m., 9 o'clock, 8 p.m., it will do some random stuff inside your queue bank, inside the specified area of your queue bank. And if you specify a end time that is prior to, like if you want from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., you can do it. It will understand that it's the day after. Intelligence is intelligent. So I don't want to automate. I want that on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, it triggers my scene 2. And I want that each day at 8 p.m., it stops my setup. So I create a new queue scheduler that is called blackout. Blackout because the neighborhood is not happy and it consumes a lot of energy, and we have children's. Is that? And at 8 p.m., each year, each month, each day, 8 p.m. and 0 seconds, I want to call the column 3. Oops, and in my column 3, I will make a blackout. How will I do a blackout? I will change the opacity of my video surface group, of my fixtures group, and of my what's this one? This one. I can do it with the master. Hopefully my friend is here. Oops. So I can put back all I was doing, because if he has the simpler way of doing that, I don't know how many times I have to do undo hide surface, undo change opacity, undo change the column. Okay, so I have my blackout in my blackout scene. I will do a queue then, so I have the blackout here. Well, I can make a scene anyway. So I will turn off the video master, or the master here. So in the master tab, master tab, you have the master, the video color master, the demix master, and the audio master, and the master will shut down everything. So now if I make a scene, I call it blackout, and I will add manually my master in the blackout because it is not stored by default, and I will do it for the other ones too. Okay, and now, okay, I have 3 different things that will be triggered based on my schedulers. But now, if I have schedulers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I want that in some period of time because the client said, I should do that, I want that in summer, it's more bright, or there are some funky stuff at So in this case, if you have more demand and you don't want to end with 100 queue schedulers, you use a calendar, and you can use a calendar application like Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, or Outlook, or the Windows calendar stuff. And if I put some event here that I call blackout, and I choose the time I want today at 18, row 8, and now I have less than 2 minutes to show you it's working. And I export my calendar as an ICS file, which is a standardized format for calendars. It handles recurrency, so if you say each Monday, or I can talk a lot, queues. I store the ICS file, so it's all that is in my queues calendar here. I create a calendar scheduler. I import my ICS file here, and now it's telling me there are 2 events loaded. The next 2 events are blackout today in less than 1 minute. So I will stop the blackout.